Welcome back to The Paper Pursuer. Today's show notes for episode 1193, and they titled the podcast Another Mind-Blowing Connection. So the first article is on the Washington Examiner site, and it's titled Trump-Russia Dossier Was Valid. Christopher Steele Defends Controversial 2016 Report by Jerry Dunleavy, February 27, 2020. British ex-spy Christopher Steele defended his dossier, though a Justice Department watchdog group found flaws in the research and how the DOJ and FBI used it. Arthur Snell, managing director for Steele's company Orbis Business Intelligence, this week penned a letter to the editor titled Trump-Russia Dossier Was Valid, published in the United Kingdom's The Sunday Times. It was in response to an article last month about a newly released analysis by British author Rupert Allison, who goes by the pen name Nigel West, who concluded, there is also a strong possibility that all Steele's material has been fabricated. Steele and his company, Orbis Business Intelligence, firmly reject this, Snell said. We stand by the integrity and quality of our work. Snell claimed Steele and others at Orbis have been close allies of America for more than 3 decades, and that this has not been changed by the dossier. He claims Steele reported his salacious and unverified findings to the FBI solely to assist the Bureau. Therefore, Orbis has cooperated extensively with serious U.S. investigations on Russian interference in U.S. elections, with the approval of the UK authorities, Snell wrote. This hardly suggests, as your article contends, that our actions have damaged the UK-U.S. intelligence relationship. DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz concluded in December that the FBI's Trump-Russia investigation was flawed. The watchdog criticized the DOJ and the FBI for 17 significant errors and omissions related to the surveillance of Carter Page. Steele was hired by opposition research team Fusion GPS, which was funded by the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee, through Democratic powerhouse attorney Mark Elias and the Perkins Coie law firm. Perkins Coie was paid more than $12 million between 2016 and 2017 for its work. Fusion GPS was paid $50,000 per month from Perkins Coie, and Steele was paid roughly $168,000 by Fusion GPS. Check out that trickle down. Phew. Following Horowitz's report, the DOJ told the FISA court it believed the final 2-page FISA warrants were not valid. The FBI told the court it planned to sequester all the information obtained through the page at FISA's. The report noted that FBI meetings with Steele sources raised significant questions about the reliability of the Steele election reporting, and Bureau officials said Steele may have some judgment problems. The CIA referred to Steele's dossier as internet rumor. Horowitz said the FBI concluded much of the material in the dossier could not be corroborated and added that certain allegations were inaccurate or inconsistent with evidence gathered by the FBI, and the limited information that was corroborated was often publicly available. Steele's dossier alleged there was a well-developed conspiracy of cooperation between the Trump campaign and the Russian leadership. Mueller's report stated the investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities. Allison's 9-page analysis, done at the behest of yet unnamed D.C. Republican lawyer, concluded the dossier, as a whole, is profoundly troubling and cannot be taken at face value. Snell told the Sunday Times, you ignore more recent assessments of Steele's work by intelligent professionals such as John Cipher, Chuck Rosenberg, and Anthony Ferrante. Cipher, a former CIA officer, wrote in September 2017 that the dossier is by no means a useless document and presents a coherent narrative of collusion. He said in 2018 that the dossier had a whiff of authenticity and that Trump's actions, along with leaks, have added a bit more credibility to the dossier. In December, Cipher insisted that unverified doesn't mean all wrong. Rosenberg, a former senior FBI official, claimed in December 2018 that the dossier holds up well over time, and none of it, to our knowledge, has been disproven. He appeared on MSNBC and said that big parts of it are holding up. Ferrante, who worked as a cybersecurity advisor on the National Security Council, left the White House in April 2017, joining FTI Consulting. Ferrante was hired by BuzzFeed, and the firm was paid $4.1 million to try to corroborate the claims about Trump's ties to Russia in Steele's research. Like tongue twisters, goodness. Ferrante compiled a report filed in federal court in a lawsuit over the dossier's publication, finding that internet service providers mentioned in the dossier that were owned by Russian entrepreneur Alexej Gubarev may have been used by Russian agents to support the hack of the DNC in 2016. But unlike Steele's dossier, Ferrante's report did not directly link Gubarev or his executives to the hack. I have no evidence of them actually sitting behind a keyboard, Ferrante said in a deposition. Good grief. These people just don't stop. Okay, I'm going to continue on another Washington Examiner article. This one's titled Watchdog Files FOIA Lawsuit Against FBI Over James Comey's Spies in the White House by Daniel Chaitin, September 5th, 2019. A bit of an older one. A conservative watchdog group filed a Freedom of Information lawsuit against the FBI seeking information about two bureau officials it accuses of being spies for former FBI Director James Comey in the White House. The American Center for Law and Justice, headed by Trump attorney Jay Sekulow, announced on its website Wednesday that the FBI missed a deadline to respond to its July FOIA request and filed its lawsuit in Washington, D.C. The lawsuit seeks a wide array of records, including all of Comey's emails from April 1, 2016 to May 31, 2017. If these deep state agencies will not comply with the law until a federal court forces them to, then we'll keep filing federal lawsuits and taking them to court, the group said in a statement. The FBI declined to comment. The FOIA request was made following a report by Real Clear Investigations that explored possible misconduct by Comey for what two U.S. officials described as essentially running a covert operation against President Trump starting in 2017, even as he was assuring Trump he was not the subject of any investigation. The report said longtime FBI official Anthony Ferrante worked as a cybersecurity advisor on the National Security Council and was sharing information about Trump and his aides back to FBI headquarters. Ferrante, who after leaving the government joined business advising firm FDI Consulting, was hired by BuzzFeed to verify parts of British ex-spy Christopher Steele's anti-Trump dossier, now may be tied to an investigation into alleged surveillance abuses by the DOJ and the FBI being conducted by Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz. After Ferrante left the White House job in April 2017, he was replaced by another FBI official, Jordan Ray Kelly, who signed security logs for Ferrante to enter the White House while he was contracted by BuzzFeed. Kelly left the White House last year and also joined FTI Consulting. The indications are those individuals were reporting directly back to James Comey, Sekulow said on Fox News late Wednesday. So what he did was he took counterintelligence investigation that was taking place during the presidential campaign, brought it into the White House when the president was sworn in as no longer president-elect, but in fact as president. We're going to know a lot more now that a lawsuit is filed, he added. Okay, grief, they really do know everybody. Know each other. It's all connected. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's the end of that one. I'm going to move on to another video with a couple more articles.